Hey guys, Eric here. If you follow along my channel, I mean, you've seen this before, but this is mainly a tip that I found out on this engine that, I mean, it wasn't readily available. I had to do a little bit digging. But if you have a Toyota or anything with a Toyota 1.8 in, I forget the exact what the letter numbers for this engine are. I could look it up. I'll list it on the title, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. On this particular car, it has a variable valve timing solenoid right here. There's a little filter underneath that thing. See where that bolt is right there underneath it? That's what we got to get get this. And this one was completely plugged, and it wasn't its only problem, so I can't tell you what this is going to fix and what it's not, but I know a plug filter's no good for anything. This was the number, no local parts store had it. It's the oil filter control, or oil control filter. So this little thing was completely plugged, and also this little nipple on the end, it was gone. So I got to do a little bit of search and reconnaissance inside that engine. I might put a bore scope down it or something like that, but that's going to be for something else. I just want to show you the easiest way to get this off without having do it. And the only reason I know is because I did that, took that control valve out and put it back together until it came so I can move the car. But what I'm using is just a bungee cord going up to the hood. And what I'm going to do is take off the serpentine belt and just hook it with the bungee cord. And then we're going to take off part of the alternator and pull it back. And then that'll give us good access to that. So you don't have to completely take off the alternator. You don't have to take your serpentine the whole way off. Just, I watched a video to learn how to take that valve out of there. This is just the method of getting it out of there that worked really good for me. And this is my second time doing it, so, now I know it's a lot easier. All right, guys. I'm going to set up and then start taking it apart. All right, guys, you can see down there, to loosen the serpentine belt, we want to put a 19 millimeter on this part, not the bolt below it. You want to put it on the part that got a bolt head right there, but it's not actually a bolt. You could tell it's part of the pulley lever. I'm using just Harbor Freight, 1/2-inch ratchet. You'd be all right in there with a shallow well and everything. I got one of these super shallow ones on there that, just because they're on sale and I like them. But I'm going to put the camera on tripod so I could get two hands in there. And then I'll show you how to hook the belt and then pull the alternator out. Alright guys, I got the ratchet back there. And the trick is whenever you're going to pull whatever you're using to loosen that towards you, you want to take your finger and just hold tension on the belt as you take it off. Just let it slip off the alternator, but don't let go of it. Don't let go of the tension yet. Hold it right to the side. And just hold it right there with your finger in between. And then take the bungee cord and just hold it like that. So we only need to get to the alternator. We don't need to get to anything else. So it's lucky you could see it stayed on the AC compressor, stayed on the crank. That's what you want. I mean, this engine's a mess. You don't want to go getting all having to route a serpentine belt just for this little bit. All right, first, this is your variable valve timing solenoid. Yes. Just unplug that, get that out of the way. Then there's this little plastic piece that goes over the bolt. This looks like a 10 millimeter. And there's the alternator plug. It's pretty close to the coolant overflow. I use these. If you're strong enough, you could squeeze it this way to get it out. I use these trim tools, just give it a little bit of a squeeze and pull it off. Then there's a little ground piece down there, or a piece for the ground wire. It's more like an isolator to just keep it out of the way. That would be that one black and white wire right there. And what happens there is you could just reach under there and pop that off. Some of these, if they're still real tight, you know, you might have to get a screwdriver under there, but you could see what it kind of tang it is. Just a plastic piece is supposed to go in that hole and then grab it. If you put a screwdriver down there, it'll pop it out if it's a brand new one, like you know, a tight one. And that was enough. I didn't have to disconnect down here at the AC to just pull this out enough for our purposes. But I want to take this 10mm off and just pull the wiring back a little bit so we got some room. Alright guys, I'm just going after that one 10mm bolt holding the last cable on right now. No, wait, bro. Put him somewhere safe. Get this harness out of here a little bit. Just give the alternator some room to move like that. The next, I'm going to put a 12mm on the end. You could use a wrench, you could use whatever you want. I found it easier a little bit with an extension and going in on this side of the AC hose. And then what you want to do is just pull back on your bungee cord. Like that. It's not going to fall. You got that out of the way. Still one more bolt in the bottom. I believe I just loosened it last time and we rolled out. Alright guys, this is the bolt. Just the bottom alternator bolt. Let me get the light down there a little closer. You can see it a little bit better there. What I'm going to do is just put the ratchet on it. You could get in there. There's no special tool for this. You just get in there with, you know, whatever you got that makes your life a little bit more convenient. In this case, this is what happened to work for me, so that's how it's rolling. Now we could just see the alternator will fall forward that far. And that's one we need to get in there. There's the bolt that we're going after, guys. I mean, it might be easier to take your solenoid out, but you know, those things kind of break when you never handle them too much. So I'm going to just go for that. If you're doing this because you're replacing your solenoid, then definitely take it out first. It's a hard view every way you look at it, but I just got a 13mm deep well. Just broke it loose. Now I'm going to try to use my fingers, because I don't want to drop that bolt. Always keep a magnet handy just in case. Now I might not be able to even get my hands on it. Now this one has no filter in the end of it. Yours will have a filter there. And what you want to do is make sure the whole thing's there first, because that one did not have the end that holds it in the bottom of this bolt. So turning 2 fingers at a time. One gets tired, switch to the other hand, but it's turning very easy. Now when I feel it let loose, that's when I like getting down there and, ain't going nowhere. Now yours will have this little metal gasket, and that filter goes right in here. Oh, right in there. But right in the end of the hole of this bolt. That's where that little plastic nipple goes. I'll show you whenever we put it in. Right now I'm going to do a little bit of investigating in this one because of the issues it was having. I want to make sure that the other piece isn't down there or any foreign matter from a timing chain change. See what's going on. But if you're just replacing that, that's where I'm going to start backfilling. There you go. For curiosity's sake, got out the bore scope. We're going to go down and just take a look, see what's in there. See if there's any obstructions or the other piece of that filter. That's what I'd like to find. Wow. Really nothing down there. I don't know if that just looks like oil. Inch out, so a chain right there. Looks like links or a sprocket. That's the VVT sprocket itself. It's alright. Filthy engine, man. You gotta keep these things clean. Alright, this is the filter for the oil control. That was the part number in case, actually I might just save this for future reference. That's all it looks like. Big truck going down the alley. And then this is the bolt we took out. And this just goes in there like that. I was a little concerned that that part wasn't on there and this was kind of wedged in there. And that's made it through. It's somewhere in the oil pan now, hopefully safely. Because this whole bottom piece was gone. It was just like a flat screen. And we don't see no traces of it in the cylinder, so now I'm going to put some Teflon tape on the end of this, on these threads, because these engines leak a lot. That's just one less place you're going to have to worry about. Alright guys, this is in a tricky location, and it's going to be a little bit hard to get in there, but I got it all. I put some Teflon tape around it. It's going to be a little bit tricky, so I'm going to shut the camera off. And that would be a dick move, wouldn't it? No, if I drop it, you're going to see me drop it. I got my trusty magnet handy. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to put it in with the magnet. I think the filter went right in the hole. Get the magnet out of the way. We can start the threads. That's like 2 fingers. That's where I thought you were going to see me drop it, huh? It's probably the 1 time out of 10 I didn't. Alright, now you've got that back in there. It's pretty much straightforward. Put it back together in reversal, but I had no idea about this filter in there. It's I stumbled across it in one video, and then I did a little bit more research, but I'll show you putting the belt back on at the end. I mean, but everything else is just the reverse of the way we had it, and hope this helped you out. Saved you having to reroute that serpentine belt. Alright guys, have a good one. Adios. Alright, this is putting the belt back on. Just want to show you whatever way you reach around to grab it, just put your finger right under the bungee cord and get it out of the way. I still got my wrench on there. Pull back and like nothing ever happened. That easy, guys. All right, take care.